Hey,
What's up, Chad?
it might be a little rough, but I'm here.
All right, try to make do with me. Try to manage it best you can. But I appreciate you hopping on. All right. So, what is it that you mean by what do you advise we do in terms of what to
A
do?
lot of people are coming out and telling the truth about women need to listen, women need to do this, and for single mothers, you know, in the words of The Color Purple, get spoiled. So but a lot of people are saying, you spoiled and you're this and you're that. But a lot of people are not really saying, hey, do this. Maybe you should be this. So what do you suggest? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So what do you suggest that, for instance, a single mother should do? Or someone who is in the career path of becoming a doctor or a lawyer, what do you suggest they do?
All right. So that's a loaded question, but good question. All right. So number one, I gotta be very very clear when I say I'm not a Google with it. All right. I've done a lot of research. You know what I'm saying? And in my profession, I come across all different people, culture. So here's my 2 cents. All right. But the first thing women need to do, single women need to do with kids, is humble yourself and understand what if a man comes along, what you technically ask him to do. You might not be voicing it, but there's a lot that women are asking when you ask them for a man to be a stepfather. Right
Absolutely.
now, you got young kids, right?
Yes.
How many you got?
2, 6, and 2-year-old.
All right. So you got young kids, meaning they can be in a house a number of times.
That means it's hard to go on dates to give my man some time because he wants time too.
Mm-hmm.
That means I have to work because who am I to ask someone that I'm dating, oh, I need my bills paid. I need to be taken care of. I need me and my kids that are not his.
It's only going to be but a certain caliber, right? But I don't think all men I think women can make a lot from the men that's available. There's a lot of suitable men, right? But 9 times out of 10, pretty women with super gorgeous women with no kids, a lot of them not going to get everything that they want. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get everything you probably think you want. You know what I'm saying? I look for a man that's going to give you what you need. So my real advice is watch a lot of Kevin Samuels. A lot of women like you, and you at least willing to listen and get a different perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I'm gonna ask you to do is, if you come in contact with a younger woman, is ask her or challenge her. Look, don't have a kid that you don't plan to be with for the rest of your life.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
If he don't plan to be with you for the rest of his life, you don't have no child with him. It goes both ways too.
I'm with you. So here's what I will say. You can shoot on this question if you want. You don't gotta answer this if you don't want to ask. But is there a 1% chance that you could get back with your baby father?
No.
All right. So that's two major decisions, right? Is what it is. I'll never tell you right or wrong. So if you just absolutely can't get, I'm a fan of bringing families like back together because technically it usually make more sense financially and for the well-being of everybody.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
But if that's not an option, right?
You're welcome.
It's understanding when the man come along and he's intrigued enough to want to even suggest doing something to help you out, give him a little leeway than with the rest of women. A lot of women just the sad story is the women who don't have no kids, pretty privileged, and still ain't gonna end up with a man. That's the Holly Berry.
Oh, no.
But my advice is, if you find a decent man, somebody that's consistent, somebody that's disciplined, somebody that you know just ain't gonna do certain shit, probably that's interest to make it work with him. And you probably gonna have to accept a lot of things that a lot of women will say. Girl, he don't got this. Girl, he don't got that. He might not be 6-pack. He might not be 6 feet. might not make six figures.
And that drives me crazy. A lot of women have this long, extensive list of what they want, but the percentage of these men in the population is not even realistic.
Nowhere near. Nowhere near.
I don't know if they plan on building these men on the internet.
No, they'll get their wake up call. Everybody getting it. The older you get, because there's always going to be a new batch of 24, 25-year-olds that look really, really good with no kids. Every year, God sends millions of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So it's going to be hard. You're not really going to be able to compete with those women. All right? But a lot of those women, you know what I'm saying, they got shit that they going to learn too. Right? So again, to wrap it up, unless you got another question, to wrap it up, if you got a decent man, he's probably not gonna pop off the paper like, damn, you got that. That's cool though, because nobody perfect. And you made decisions, you made choices, I made choices. Everybody makes choices that affects them in the long run.
I can honestly say I had a high value man. This is when I had just my son, who was at the time willing to deal with me as a single mother, which includes that does not just include the dealing with a woman and her child. And I feel like a lot of people forget about the rest of it that comes with it. You got to deal with a woman that's probably trying to make just as much money as you because she's playing both parents. So what time do she have? I was working 3 jobs. I had no business working 3 jobs with a 1-year-old. That baby need my time. And he brought it to my attention. He was honest with me, and it is a blessing and an honor to have a man that talks to you. Do not shoot down a man that talks to you. He told me. He said, I need some time. When do I get your time? I know that you're a mother first, but when do I get time from you? If I'm dating you, when do I get your time?
Let me stop.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop you real quick. The number one thing men want is your time and your focus and your energy, and it is split between now 2 kids. So you're right. You're right. All right. Now, fuck, I know you. We used to walk home together.
Right.
Elementary school. You feel me?
Here and I would be there.
I know. And we used to fight. We used to go at it. You know what I'm saying? But I love black women, yo. Like, true, not because how many men really talk to women without trying to fuck them? You know what I'm saying? Or without trying to get something out the deal. So I'm saying this from a real place, right? You've already said it. All right? But that's why relationships are so fucking valuable. Mm-hmm. Just value relationship. Everybody tell you, oh, he don't do this, bye. Oh, I got another man. No, you don't get unlimited men.
And you know what? I felt that way before my second child, before my daughter. I felt like, you know what? Financially, it would be easier to be with my kid's father. It would be easier physically to have him in the house, and they need both parents. My son needs a man who can teach him how to be a man, because the only reason why I feel like my son is getting to where he is getting is because I have a male best friend that is a real best friend that cares about my children as his own. If it were not for that, I mean, I can teach my son how to pee in the toilet, which I feel like I shouldn't have to do that, but that's something minor. But to teach my son how to uphold himself and treat a woman, yes, I can show him how I wanted, you know, their father to have treated me, or show him how a man can treat me, but I can't treat him like he's the man of the house. So it's that, and then you get to that thin line between he's the man of the house and you teaching him how to be a man. I cannot teach him that.
You cannot.
My daughter still needs a father. Yes, a girl, you know, mothers feel like, oh, I can raise my daughter, I don't need a man. She needs a man, because if it wasn't for my father, I wouldn't have known when he opens your door, you reach over and open up his. A lot of women don't understand that if that's your man, he should be opening up your door.
All right. So check this out. So I'm gonna say this, all right, because it's a lot that I want to cover.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing you could do, yo, is put your daughter on game, and don't raise your daughter to be a modern woman that's doing everything else that everybody else doing, and what you did in the past. Mm-hmm. Put on game beforehand. You're not really going to be able to teach her how to be a wife. You can advise the best you can, and you're not going to teach your son how to be a man. If you need to holler at me, you can holler at me. You feel me? I'll extend myself as far as he can hit me up. All right. But the bottom line, yo, is there is deficiencies, and you got to make sure that you're doing the best that you can to fill those and know what you're not going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. And know what the deficiencies are, so when you replace, because let's say you get a motherfucker that's 5'3". Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of women don't like short men.
Listen, the high value man that I was dealing with at the time that I should have opened up my ears a lot more for, he was making good money, came out of the military, making okay money, enough to withhold a family and take care of a household. Raised by his mom and his dad. He had a father in his life that showed him how to be a man. Mother who was, the opposite side in discipline. And he was short. Mm-hmm. He wasn't, I'm about 5'2". He was at least like 5'4".
Is that why you didn't want? Is that one of the factors as to why you didn't want to move forward? Why you ain't act right?
It got to a point where he felt like, maybe kids. He wanted. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Maybe the kids thing was not the direction he wanted to head into. He started getting cold feet on being in my child's, because at this point I'm introducing you to my son. He getting cold feet, maybe, I don't really want to be in his life like that. I don't mind, but I might need to take a step back. And it came down to me as a mother. We've been talking for 2 years now. You meet my son. And his communication started to dim a little bit. Like I'm sure that there was more that he felt about being around my son, but it wasn't getting communicated at the time. And it could have been because I've shut it down before, because at that time I did not listen. So that could very much be my fault.
No, it is. It is. So, all right, check this out. So, you've learned a lot of lessons. The good thing is you at least know. At least you still ain't blind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My advice for you specifically is, if the chance of a relationship comes along, really weigh the good and the bad, and take time with it. Like, damn, all right, is the good outweighing the bad? Mm-hmm. Motherfucking is, if you're a decent man, if he, and that's not even that much. I can't really speak on that because I can't even fathom, right? But if a decent man come along, yo, he might be fat. I don't know. He might be or something. But if a decent man come along and try to make it work, he might got a kid or two. Who knows? All right. But not you, but a lot of women, yo, y'all need help. And that help can get you to at least a life of, but you're going to be hustling and bustling. You're going to be hustling like shit. And that's why I talked about this shit, yo, because unfortunately you've made your mistakes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of women who ain't made them yet, but they on shade room and spiritual world about to make them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you can talk to young women. You feel me? Give them the real, because they not getting it. Give them the real, yo. That shit not the wave. So long story short, yo, I hope that, and we can talk offline, you feel me? But value relationships, right? Don't make the same mistakes. You're not going to be in paradise. You're not going to be in paradise. No man can give you paradise, but obviously, you're going to be moving with some limitations. Mm-hmm. All right. but you know what it feel like to work 3 jobs. You know what it feel like. You know what you need to. Long story short, and I'm done after this, unless you got a question. Prioritize your needs over your wants. Like that shit should damn near drive you crazy because your wants is what got you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But your needs, realize what your needs are. Because your needs is your children's needs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a man, yo, there's mentorship programs. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one beauty about a lot of this shit now is there's so much shit on the internet. You know what I'm saying? The best way to get ahead is to know what information to use.
Mm-hmm.
So don't just be watching any and everything. Therapy is, a recommendation of mine. I do it. I'll do it. But I just you'll be okay, of course. Well, you'll be okay, right? But just learn from your mistakes, move different. You feel me? And seek help. But listen to what I mean by that. Seek help is if a man is interested, you should be seeking it. You should be looking. You gotta be prepared for when that shit comes.
Mm.
And do what you can do with the time that you got, because a lot of people got a whole bunch of time and ain't doing shit with it, right? To keep a man. That's just a sad story. You feel me? That's just forfeiting. But whatever time you got, you just make it worth as well as much as you can. But no, yo, I appreciate you. I really do. And if you need to holler at me, you can. You still in Baltimore, right?
I'm still on the same block.
For real?
Same house.
Get out of here. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to catch up with you. I appreciate you chiming in.
No problem. See.
So look, like I know I talk a lot of shit on Instagram, yo. But like I know black struggle, I know black pain. Like I'm very familiar with all that shit. I've seen it. Most men have. You feel me? And that's that life. It's a lot that come with it. And it start with, oh, you thought I was feeling you? That nigga, I don't have it like that. Meg Thee Stallion might be able to get away with it, but they running behind men. For average men, for average women, figure it out and let's get together. For slightly above average women and men, you might be able to figure it out. But you got to find out where you really at. Because the world going to tell you. The world going to tell you where you at, where you rank. All right, it ain't that much women empowerment and black girl magic, and it ain't that many outlets for y'all to just increase y'all value without putting in the work. You feel me? So I don't got all the answers, but that should help, a good number of people. So